Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Heavvy!
How many of y'all have heard of me? Yeah, see? One guy. So clearly I have some work to do in my career. And this is a good starting point, I feel like. You know, I'm from Toronto. Come home and film this special. So I appreciate you guys all coming out. It does mean a lot. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All good. Don't have to clap. You clapped enough. You've clapped enough. You've clapped enough. You look German, sir. Where are you from?
Czech Republic.
Pretty close, guys. I can spot a fucking Euro trash piece of shit when I see him. I'm just joking. I'm joking. You look good. You're wearing a turtleneck. That's good. You guys back here, you three? Are you all homies?
Homies, yeah.
Okay, uncross your arms, okay? Because it doesn't feel like you're homies.
Tripping on mushrooms, but we're like different levels.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. He's like, I'm at the highest level right now. I'm at the highest level, he's in the middle, and okay, that's awesome. I love shrooms, dude. Fuck yeah. Give it up for these guys getting high at a comedy show on shrooms. Want to see my tits? And I am bald too, if you can't tell from my energy. Any other bald men in here? This guy raises his hand on shrooms. I'm bald. Let's see it, buddy. Oh, wow. Wow, you look like an egg, dude. That is epic. Being bald just makes you like, I don't know, creepy, basically, you know? Just like for no reason, just like, great, it's awesome. No, it's okay. But when I was going bald, I was worried like I was gonna have one of those misshaped heads. Like, you know when it goes flat at the back and you're just like, yo, where is your brain? You know what I'm saying? I had a little benign cyst when I went bald, right here. And I would always poke it like this. And my friends would be like, yo, stop touching it. And I'd be like, I know, right? I'd be like hooking up with a girl, still wearing my hat. I was so insecure. I'd be like making out and she'd like catch a whiff of it or something. I'd be like, what the hell? Yeah. I'd be like going down on a girl still wearing my hat. I'd be like dark in the room, she'd be like, whoa, wait 1 second. Are you still wearing your hat? And I'd be like, I know it's dark in here. But I have a little benign cyst right here. So it's like on my left side, you're right, just in case you feel like a bump or whatever. And she was just like, what the? Get your probiotics. Like, shut the fuck up and eat my pussy. What are you talking about? I've lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. And living in Los Angeles, you know, interesting things happen. Like, recently I fucked one of the girls who's on the show. It's interesting, like, as a comedian, the last thing that you want to do is kind of introduce yourself as a comedian, okay? I'll tell you why, because it's fucking annoying, right? You tell somebody you're a comedian and they're just like, oh, you're a comedian, eh? This guy's funny. You guys heard when I asked, anybody heard of me before? There was a dead silence, except for this one guy. It's like, so when you tell people you're a comedian, they're like, oh, this is a funny guy, eh? Like, tell us a joke. And you're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with this person, you know? But when, you know, I was meeting her, I'm like, hey, you know, she's like, yeah, I sold my soul to be on this reality TV show. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't even know what the fuck that is. She's like, so what do you do? And I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. And she just like rolled her eyes. And I was like, whoa, what's wrong? I'm an entrepreneur. And she goes, what, so you're broke? And I was like, kind of, but like, isn't that what entrepreneurialism is? Like, the money goes out and then it comes back in. Like, sometimes it's that. And she's like, what the? The other girl was like, no, tell her what you actually do. And I was like, oh, I sell jewelry and does this. And like, reminded me of this other time that I went to the Beverly Hills Hotel and I fucked one of my clients that I sell jewelry to. Well, no, sorry. I went to go see one of my clients who I sell jewelry to. Pardon me. Yes, thank you. So I'm like really excited to go over there because when she invites me over, she's like, yeah, I'm with my hot ass Australian friend. Like, come over here. It's like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, you understand that? I'm like, gas tank loaded, ready to go. I like grab a bottle of tequila. I go to the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm all jacked up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to have my first, is this gonna be my first threesome? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this about to happen? Go to the Beverly Hills Hotel. We're hanging out 20, 30 minutes, have a drink, smoke a joint. We're all sitting on the couch, and out of nowhere, the Australian girl just turns to me and she just goes, I'll suck your dick if you can make me laugh right now. I've never bombed harder than in that moment. In that moment, I couldn't even speak. I was like, yabba dabba doo. Like, So fucking embarrassing. But, I do sell jewelry, and it's been great, because comedy doesn't really pay, especially the first 10 years. Actually, you know what? Make that 14, because here we are. But yeah, living in LA, there's all these like crazy things that happen to you. Like one time I was in Larry David's backyard. I'm just hanging out with like a bunch of friends. And as a Jew from Toronto growing up, like Larry David is God. And we're hanging out in the backyard. And after hanging out, we smoke a joint. We're in a gazebo or whatever. And he walks out of the kitchen side door. And they're all saying hello to each other and, interacting. And then they're like, yeah, this is Heavvy, the guy we were telling you about. And he's like, oh, Heavvy, nice to meet you. And I was like, hey, man, nice to meet you too. How you doing? And he stopped, looked around his backyard in his infinity pool, beautiful house, put his hands on his hips, looked at me and goes, swell. And I was just like, holy shit, dude, that's Larry fucking David, I'm so stoned, and we all go inside. And we're hanging out, and they're playing Scrabble or some shit. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, I have the craziest pasties. And I'm like, yeah, do you guys mind if I get a drink? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I get a drink, and 15 minutes later after I get the drink, I'm like, hey, when I was grabbing the drink, I noticed there was a bowl of fruit in there. Do you guys mind if I grab a peach? They're like, yeah, of course. Go, take a peach. Get whatever you want. I was like, cool. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. Grab the peach. I'm eating the peach. 15 minutes after that, I'm like, hey, when I was eating the peach, and then before I can finish the sentence, Larry David just goes, Heavy, you have fridge privileges here. You don't have to ask. You can just go. I'll never forget, when I was walking to that fridge, I felt untouchable. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I was like, this is my biggest credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, Larry David's fridge. This is fucking amazing. I'm the man. Anyways, I saw Larry a few months ago, and I was like, Larry, how are you? And he just looked at me and just walked on. He had no idea who I was. Who the fuck is that guy? The hell? I guess at this point in the time, I'd like to connect with my 3 friends who are high on shrooms. I was recently at my friend's bar, and it actually has a location here. It's called Apartment 200. You guys ever heard of it? Yeah, so there's a location in Los Angeles, and I'm at that location. It's down the street from my place, and I'm hanging out, and these girls were at my buddy's table, and they turn to me and they go, hey, do you have any shrooms? And I was like, no, I don't have any here, but I have some at my place. But I'm not some like Uber Eats driver for your shrooms. You understand that? I'm not gonna like go get you shrooms and bring it back. But if you all want to come with me, we can go take some shrooms and then come back here in like 15 minutes. And they're like, okay, cool. So we go, get the shrooms, take a shot. I pop one piece, they all pop one piece. Get back to the bar. And then we're like dancing and like, when girls want drugs and you're just like, why are you turning into a different person? You know what I mean? So they're like, give it to me, give me the chocolate bar. I'm like, okay, take it. I'm just gonna have a good time, So we end up leaving, and they're kind of fucked up, and I'm like just having a good time. I'm buzzing, I'm like microdosing, and I end up taking one of these girls back to my place, and we're hanging out, and I kind of trip out when we get back there because she's like, I'm formerly Muslim, but now I'm Christian, and I'm just like, oh God, she's about to kill me. You understand? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, she's in my apartment. She's gonna grab a knife. She's gonna kill me. Like, what the hell's going on? So, we were hanging out, and she's like, do you have any more shrooms? And I'm like, sure, if you want a little bit more. And I'm like, she's like, take it with me, take it with me. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it. After, we hang out, we have a drink or whatever, we smoke a joint. I'm like kind of high. And she turns to me and she's like, how do you feel about Kanye West? And I'm like, I love Kanye West's music, but like, I don't know about his political views. She's like, oh my God, can we watch a Kanye music video? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Let's watch a Kanye music video. Like, let's do this. She's like, okay, incredible. I'm thinking she's gonna play like Gold Digger or like All Falls Down, and like all of a sudden she just puts on a 30-minute sermon by Kanye. You understand that? So about 20 minutes into this thing, I'm wondering if I'm gonna get my dick sucked, and I'm also wondering if I'm contemplating everything. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell's going on? She's like sitting there on her knees watching it, and I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, after the sermon ends, we finally go to my room. I get to my room, and she's like, if you want to hook up, I have to be in control. And I'm just like, I basically just like turn into a paraplegic. I'm like, I like fall back on my bed. I'm like, I'm like a baby. I'm like looking at the ceiling. And she's like, if you want me to suck your dick, you have to play this Playboy Cardi song. And I'm like, Playboy Cardi? I'm like, okay, whatever. I like, snap out of my paraplegia and like grab the Apple controller, and I'm like looking for this song. And after like 5-10 minutes, which feels like 45 minutes high on shrooms, I'm like, I'm like, this song doesn't exist. And like, girls, you ever do that? Or to your man, are you ever like, I'll suck your dick if you can find the Kit Kat bar that I hid in your couch? Got guys going through their apartment, ripping it up like they work for the DEA, trying to get their dick sucked. Newsflash, the chocolate bar doesn't exist. And it's interesting, you know, how kind of sensitive everybody is in this day and age. You know, I try not to give a fuck because of what I do for a living, but people are sensitive, you know, and it is what it is. And it's all good. It's all good. But like sometimes I just think about it, you know. You guys have obviously seen the movie The Titanic, right? You guys seen the movie The Titanic? Yeah. Well, no one made any noise. So people are just like nodding, like. So it's like, you know, at the end of the movie, right? Close to the end, when they're like, okay, the ship's going down. You know what I mean? And they're like, okay, women and children to the front. Like if I was on the Titanic and some guy that was dressed up like a woman started going when he said women and children, I'd be like, okay, whoa, no. Look at that guy. That's a guy. If he's going, I'm going. Like if the Titanic happened today, every single guy in the boat would be like, I'm a woman, and they'd have to let them on. Got the mentality that we'd all fucking die. We'd all be dead. There'd be no women and children. We'd all be dead. We'd all be fucking dead. And I guess I'm getting older. You know, it's all relative, right? I'm 37 years old. I was recently hanging out with this girl, and she's 25, and you know, little things will make you realize that you're getting older. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I have a 3D printed candle of Eazy-E in my apartment, okay? I'm hanging out with this girl, and she's 25, and she's looking around my apartment, and she's looking at this, and she's looking at that, and in my head, I'm like, there's no way she knows who Eazy-E is, right? So she comes up to the candle, and she's looking at it, and she's like, oh my God, I love your Weekend candle. I was like, that's not the Weekend. I was like, that's Eazy-E, do you know who that is? And she was like, yeah. She got all defensive. She's like, so is it scented? And I was like, yeah. She's like, what's the scent? And I was like, AIDS. And she just kind of stared at me blankly and was like, I don't get it. And I was like, yeah, I knew you didn't know who Eazy-E was. You know what I mean? Come on. I'll never forget, there was this girl and she was a nurse. She DM'd me and she was like, hey, like I want to hang out. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was messaging her, I was like, yo, like when you come over, like you have to wear your scrubs. She messaged me back like, I don't know if you want that. And then I just like envisioned her washing like an old man's balls. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I don't know if you want, like if I want that. But she came over and she was sweet. And I'm not like that OCD or anything, but when she came over, she had a Band-Aid on her finger. You understand that? She had a Band-Aid. And the Band-Aid had been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you see a Band-Aid, you know it's fresh, and then you look at a Band-Aid, and it's like, the ridges on the end, it's like kind of discolored. I was like, oh my God, I'm not looking at the Band-Aid. I'm not looking at the Band-Aid. I'm not looking at the fucking Band-Aid. So, you know, we hook up. It's a good time. We're hanging out. She's still wearing the Band-Aid. I'm completely ignoring it. And we're smoking a joint, like watching a movie or whatever. After the movie, we like go back into my room. And we start going again. And as we're hooking up, like she starts to give me head. But this time, as she's giving me head, she's like using the hand that has the Band-Aid. So like as she's giving me the head, it's kind of coming like closer to me, you know? And I feel like I'm on the Titanic, you know what I mean? I start bobbing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh God, and it's coming closer, and it's coming closer, and it's coming closer, and it's coming. And in the middle of it, I'm just like, I'm so sorry, but can you stop? And she's like, what? And I'm just like, I didn't want to say anything earlier, but the Band-Aid's really throwing me off. Now it's really, really throwing me off. It's keeping like coming closer to me and down and up and down. She just like looks at me in the moment and just taps my cock with the Band-Aid finger. Just gives it a nice tap, tap, tappy. Fuck. And in LA, like, it's interesting, like, things will happen and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? I was out, hanging out with these models, and one of them was like, yeah, no, I'm a full vegan, like, through and through. Like, I'm a vegan. And we were like, okay, fucking relax, no one gives a shit, you know? About a week or two later, my buddies were opening this burger spot. It's called Burgers Never Say Die. It's a fantastic burger. And I went there for like the friends and family thing. And you know, they were serving the burgers out of the kitchen. It was maybe 20 or 30 people. And I go back into the kitchen and who do I see other than this vegan? And she's eating a burger. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what the hell's going on? And she's like, every once in a while. You know? And I'm thinking to myself, what type of logic is that? Like, you know, my girlfriend just hears from her friends like that I was making out with some big black guy and she approaches me about it and I'm just like, come on, like every once in a while. Doesn't make me gay. Once a month. You gotta, your body, you know, what the fuck? You know, it makes me think about this saying. Spaghetti is straight until it's wet. You understand that? And let me just explain what I mean by that. It's like, yeah, you're laughing because you know what I mean. You've eaten some pussy before, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. In college one night, you know, you were drunk with your girlfriend, or like one night you guys went out and didn't get the, you know, and you guys just like, you know, it's like, that's like hot, you know what I mean? Like, I want to hear about that. Like, tell me more about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, ears. But if I'm like, yeah, every once in a while my buddy Todd jerks me off. Yeah, that's gay, dude. You understand? Do you guys mind if I take off my coat? By the way, I'm like starting to get a little hot. Well, I'm taking it off anyway, so. Yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. I just need a little bit of a reset here. You going to the bathroom, miss?
So sorry.
You're so sorry? Yeah, piss in a cup for me. Do me a favor.
Capiche makes her have to go.
Capiche makes her have to go?
That's her word, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, buddy? Is that your friend, or is that your girl? It's a date? What number? 2. Ooh. Have you kissed yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Whoa, it sounds like this. Okay, relax.
If you close this thing out smooth, you could be doing me a big favor.
Oh, I can't wait till she gets back. Because I'm going to fuck this up royally for you, bro. No, I got you. No, I'm not trying to fuck up your shit. I want you to get laid. I want you to have a good time. I want you to follow me on Instagram. What is it that you do?
Is that me?
Yeah.
I'm a hairdresser.
You're a hairdresser? Wow, you're Russian too, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. You're hot. And how about you? Are you a hairdresser as well?
No.
Wow. Are you English?
Yes.
Cool. Are you from London?
Yes.
I can tell from your teeth. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys, it's a comedy show. Relax. Come on. I have horrible teeth, so I can't say anything. You know. Can't be talking too much about teeth. I'm single. Depressed. Horny. Ultimately desperate. Yeah. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? Hell yeah. I feel like at the beginning it felt a little weird, and then it like slowly got like, you know, and then it was like we finally got it wet. You know what I'm saying? Guys, it's like this. Before I get out of here, I just want to say, I've been doing this for a long time. There's been ups and downs in the valleys of comedy. You understand that? Ups and downs. And I guess I'm just so grateful to have been able to come home and actually film this special and make it happen for myself. You understand? It's a long time coming. I worked really hard, and comedy is a blessing and a curse. If you want to get into it, good fucking luck, you know? You saw me tonight, right? Yeah, no, but like I feel like, yeah, no, thank you.
You didn't talk about Sudbury.
You guys want to hear the Sudbury story before we get out of here? So I went to, first of all, stay out of my fucking business. Jesus Christ. You know, I went on a school's trip to Sudbury to go see the copper mine. If that doesn't sound boring to you, then I cannot help you. You understand that? Like, a copper mine? Who gives a shit, you know? So I'm like 13 years old, and we all go to the copper mine, and we're in fucking Sudbury. And, you know, we get at this hotel. It's like all, you know, the whole school. And they're like, okay, we're like maybe 12 or 13 years old. And they're like, all right, we're going to go all as a group and go and get something to eat. We're going to go to this one area. You can go to any of these restaurants in this area, but we all got to meet back here at this certain time. So we go, and we eat. And have you guys in this place ever heard of a place called Burger Shack? Yes. Yeah, so, you know, we're in Sudbury, and I see a place, and it looks like Burger Shack. So I'm like, I'm going there. You understand that? But we're in Sudbury. So it's like, what the fuck? So it's not Burger Shack, right? And I get like 2 hot dogs and a burger. I'm this fat kid. You know, I get a milkshake. I get fries, right? We go nuts. Like, my mom gave me like $40 or whatever, and I like fucking spent it all on the burgers, you know? So we all eat, and then we go to meet, and we all congregate. there's this one teacher, his name's Mr. Hay, and this guy is a dorky ass motherfucker. I'm talking about a Mount Co-op motherfucker, like 2 pens in his ears and like, you know, always wearing cargo shorts or pants. And he's like, guys, we can walk back the way that we came, or we could explore Sudbury and walk around a little bit. What do you guys want to do? And I was like, go back to the fucking hotel. Like, what the hell? And all the kids are like, no, let's walk. So like, I'm a fat kid. I'm like, oh, fuck, we're walking now, right? So we're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. And then like, all of a sudden, like my stomach's like kind of going off, you know? And I'm just like, what the fuck? And Mr. Hayes at like the front of the pack after 20 or 30 minutes, and he's like got a map out. And he's like looking, and he's like, we can tell, like, we're like, where the fuck are we going? We're all these kids. We're like, where are we going? Where are we going? He's like, oh, yeah. Finally, after 45 minutes, he realizes we are lost as shit. And he has like 30 or 40 kids, like the dead of night, and like he's like kind of freaking out, right? So finally, somehow, we find a route back to the hotel, to the travel lodge, okay? And as we're walking back, we're walking to a residential neighborhood at this point. And we're like walking through, and my stomach at this point is like bad. I'm like lagging at the back, and like Mr. Turvey's like, Jeff, you gotta hurry up. The pack's moving. And I'm like, I can't, dude, I'm gonna shit myself, you know? Like, and I'm walking, and he's like, okay, you really have to go? And I'm like, you know where it's fucking stand, dude. I wanted the Burger Shack spot. I thought it was gonna be the Burger Shack. It's not Burger Shack, dude. He's like, okay. Pulls out a couple of used napkins from his pocket. Goes, go on one of the lawns and just go as quickly as you can. Use the napkins and we'll run back. So I'm like 13, like a fat kid, you know. I'm like pulling on a lawn. I'm like going down. I'm like looking around like a animal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like squatting. So I'm like, oh, and like Mr. Trivey's like 10 yards in front of me, and I just start shitting, and I'm like, oh, you know, like that initial feeling. And right as that goes, all of a sudden I just hear a door crank open. It's like, and I look back, and it's just a 65-year-old woman in a muumuu, and she looks at me and she goes, are you shitting on my lawn? I just like pulled up my pants and ran away, and I like, and that was Sudbury, and that was it. And that was it. Yeah. I'm actually, yes, I wiped. With the napkin that he gave me, Mr. Turvey, the scrunched up napkin. I did the best with what I had, guys. And I feel like I really did that tonight. You guys were a horrible crowd. No, I'm just playing. You guys are fucking awesome. And don't drink and drive, get home safe, and God bless. Thank you so much. Cheers.
One more time for Heavvy. Make some noise for Heavvy. Thank you guys. Keep supporting live comedy. Good night.
Heavvy laid into me, and it was the best experience ever. He's so funny.
That was sick.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yo.
I love you, guys. I love you too. I'll call you later. Yeah. Text me when you get home.
Hilarious.
Thank you so much. Get home safe.
Yeah.
Look who's hosting my special.
Look
right?
who's
I know.
Everyone must have been busy, huh?
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.